Hello friends, welcome back to Triple E tutorial channel. I am Lisha. Here we are going to discuss about the extension of PMMC ammeter. Already we have discussed about PMMC instruments and MI instruments in detail. So here we can discuss about the extension of MC ammeters. We know that an ammeter is used to measure currents and it is normally connected in series with the circuits whose current is to be measured. Always ammeter will be connect in series with the circuit and internal resistance of the ammeter must be low as possible, because if the internal resistance of the ammeter is very less, then the corresponding voltage drop across the meter will be very less, and thereby we can see the power consumption for the working of the meter will be very less. So that normally we use a low resistance as the internal resistance for the ammeter. That point is very important. Then only the meter can measure the complete or the entire current flows through the circuit. So that the resistance of the internal resistance of the ammeter must be low as possible, because thereby we can reduce the power consumption for the working of the ammeter, and if the resistance is very less, then we will or we can measure the entire current that flows through the meter, so that the resistance of the meter must be low. In the case of MC instruments, we can measure the current. Range of the current will be 50 milliampere. That is the safe zone. If the current is higher than this range, then we need to extend the range of ammeter for MC instruments. So we can extend the range of ammeter by using shunt. So here we can discuss about the extension of ammeter by using shunt. Okay. So shunt is nothing but a low resistance which is having minimum temperature coefficient of resistance. That is the property for a good shunt material. It must have low temperature coefficient of resistance, and that shunt must be connected in parallel with the ammeter. Okay. In this diagram, you can see that Rm is the meter resistance. This symbol indicates ammeter. So Rm is nothing but the ammeter resistance or the internal resistance of the ammeter, and Im will be the current flows through this meter. So we have discussed that if we want to measure heavy currents, then we can use a resistance in parallel with the meter, because this meter may have some limits to measure the current. If the current exceeds that limit, then only we will use this shunt resistance. So to measure heavy currents, we use this shunt resistance in parallel with the meter, so that if I is the current that flows through this circuit, and this I will be always very higher than that of Im, but Im is the value of current that the meter will read, but I will be very higher than that of Im. So it is necessary to provide a bypass for the excess currents, so that we use this shunt resistance. So the current flows through the shunt resistance will be ISH. So ISH will be the resistance of the shunt, and Rm will be the meter resistance. And remember that the value of RSH will be less than the value of RM. Normally the value of RM will be very low as possible, and the value of RSH will be less than that of this RM. That means current flows through the shunt resistance will be higher than that of RM. Okay, that means ISH will be higher than IM. Okay, and the next we can think about the voltage drop across this ammeter and the shunt. It is very clear that the voltage drop across the ammeter should be equal to the voltage drop across the shunt resistance. That means if the voltage drop across the ammeter is Vm, then Vm will be equal to VSH. VSH is nothing but the voltage drop across the shunt resistance. Okay. So if we equate both these voltage drops, VSH is equal to Vm, and remember that I will be equal to ISH plus Im. Okay. From here we can write ISH is equal to I minus Im. Okay. So normally voltage drop across the shunt is equal to voltage drop across the ammeter. That means ISH RSH is equal to Im into Rm. But we will get ISH as I minus Im. Put this value instead of this ISH here. We will get RSH is equal to Im into Rm divided by ISH. If we put the value of ISH here, then we will get the equation like this. RSH is equal to Im into Rm divided by I minus Im. If we divide both numerator and denominator by that common term, that is Im, then we will get RSH is equal to Rm divided by I by Im minus 1. So that RSH is equal to Rm divided by M minus 1. Here M is nothing but the multiplying factor of the shunt resistance, and its value is M is equal to I divided by Im. I is nothing but the total current that flows through the circuit, or I is equal to Im plus ISH. Okay, and Im is nothing but the current flows through the meter. So M is the multiplying factor of the shunt. So this will be the general equation that we need to know to find out the shunt resistance, or what will be the value of the shunt which is needed. So that it depends upon the value of this multiplying factor also. So RSH is equal to Rm divided by M minus 1. So next we can think about what are the major good properties for the good shunt resistance. They are: the temperature coefficient of the shunt must be low as possible, and the resistance of the shunt must be very low and that should not vary with the time, and the shunt should carry excess currents without excessive temperature. Okay, these are the major properties for good shunts. So thank you for watching my channel.